Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Geekdom 101 Rising Sun. No, not really. This is the Super Magic Show. I hope you are all having a good day today. Little early of a show, earlier than normal. We had to accommodate our guests, but it's going to be worth it. Trust me. I titled this episode A New Way to Experience Dragon Ball Z. And there's obviously a lot to that. We're going to talk about it here. But basically, sometimes I like to highlight fan projects that I think would be beneficial to the Dragon Ball fandom. Obviously, the biggest fan project would probably be DBZ Abridged, but everybody knows what Abridged is, right? This project came about recently. So we're still trying to get the word out here. And so I'm going to bring on here in just a moment members from Team Kienzan to discuss Dragon Ball Z Recut. Now, those of you dubbies who don't understand what that word means, Kienzan is the technique that Krillin uses with the disc. It's called the Destructo disc in the dub. And I find it clever that what does the Destructo disc do? It cuts. So Team Kienzan cuts things. And in this particular example, we're talking about Dragon Ball Z. So you're probably thinking, well, wait a minute. What is the point? We already have Kai. This is not Dragon Ball Kai. That's not what this is. And also, Kai's got some problems. In the past, I've talked about how Kai has a great dub and that I'm glad that Kai exists because we got Chris Ayers as Frieza and we got the great dub. However, there are some strange decisions that Toei made. And one of the big, I want to let you know, one of the big, I guess, misconceptions about Kai is that they cut out all the filler. That is not true. They did cut a lot of the filler, but not all of it, especially when it comes to later stuff like the final chapters, the Buu saga. That thing is just, yeah, they left a lot in there. So what Team Kienzan's doing, and I'm going to bring them up here in just a minute. We're going to show y'all. We're actually going to give y'all visual examples. Is they are taking Dragon Ball Z and actually cutting even more of the filler out, but they're also making it more like the manga, which means shifting some scenes around, adding some stuff. Because if you've read the manga, like if you're intimately familiar with the Dragon Ball manga, you know that when Toei adapted it to Z, there were changes made. It's never a one-on-one example, right? So we're going to talk all about that today. I hope you're having a good day today. And you're going to, we're going to talk a lot about this. So right here, Omen XXG said, I love that they fixed Goku's face after beating Frieza. We're going to talk about that. So let me go ahead and bring them up here. I got two people I'm going to bring up first from the lovely land of Greece where the New Testament came from. Spyros, welcome.
Hello. It's good to be here. And I love what you said in the intro, that this is not Kai. We're going to explain everything, hopefully, and we're going to have a great time as well.
Yeah, because the other day I posted about you guys in it was the Star Wars Theory Discord, and I'm like, have you seen Dragon Ball Z Recut? And two people replied back and go, I've seen Kai. Because that's the first thing you think of, right? Like, that's the first thing you think of. I'm like, no, not Kai. Dragon Ball Z Recut, which is basically, it's like Kai done right, I guess you could say. Like, with more accuracy to the manga.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the Japanese audio.
Yes, with the Japanese audio, right, yeah. We'll talk all about that, and it's actually the Seed of Might version, so you're going to get the clear broadcast audio. So, and we're going to tell y'all how you can watch this. There's a number of different ways, but the first thing I want to promote here is, if you check the description, the Team Kienzan Discord server. If you have time, head in there. You're going to have FAQ. You're going to have it'll tell you how to get the actual episodes to your hard drive so that you have them, as well as you can actually watch. And I love the fact that y'all did this. There are slightly lower quality versions on the Discord.
Yeah. And on Pixel Drain as well.
And the thing that trips me out about it is it's obviously lesser quality than if you download it, but because those versions look so good, still like better than like I think it looks better than Crunchyroll, even the ones on your Discord.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beauty
Let alone if you watch it, like if you actually watch the full quality one, that's pretty amazing.
Yes, no, it is. No argument there. Let me go ahead and bring on Jarttis. Hello, welcome.
Hello, very glad to be here. You mentioned Spyros is from Greek and I'm from Finland. And I just want to say that making this project has been a dream come true for all of the people who I know who love Dragon Ball and also myself. And it's a new way to experience Dragon Ball Z. We're going to be getting into that.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to you about it. And I'm glad that we have somebody from Greece and Finland. Like, I think people need to understand how big this franchise is. When Toriyama passed away, man, I said to myself, I'm like, and I said it publicly. I said, I don't think Toriyama himself knew how big this show manga is. I don't think even he realized it because so many different languages, so many like different dubs, like everybody knows what this is. And I always talk about the Latin American dub because I am Cuban. I represent Latin Americans. And in Latin America, Dragon Ball is, and people don't want to believe it, but it's literally 10 times bigger than it is in North America. I mentioned this before. During Dragon Ball Super, I was on my YouTube channel, I was getting anywhere between 100 to 200,000 views on every review. Latin American Dragon Ball YouTubers were getting 1 million for a review. Like
really?
That's
okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've seen it, bro. Like Anzu and Pura Chilena, they were getting millions. And I was like, yeah, this is a different level. And of course, we saw the footage of that stadium where Goku fought Jiren. They filled up the bull ring and
yes.
they showed it.
Yeah, that was iconic.
I would have loved to have been there, dude. Oh my God, I would have loved that.
I mean,
I still think one of the lost opportunities, bro, is they should have, how they had the first 3 episodes of Daima in a movie theater. They should have put the last 3 of Daima in a movie theater too, because that would have been incredible.
Yeah, it would have been, indeed.
Yes. So let's talk about, before we get into Dragon Ball Z Recut, I want to talk about its predecessor, which is Dragon Ball Recut from Milkman. Now, it's a project that existed before Team Kienzan came in to take over Dragon Ball Z Recut. Yes. And the reason why I want to highlight it is because I have said this before and I will say it forever. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z are not 2 different shows. It's one big show. Yeah, it's one story, one big. In the manga, it was literally one story.
Yes.
So it was, but in the anime, it's just a show with a name change. It's no different than when Sailor Moon was being done by Toei. In the manga, they had different arcs. They had 5 arcs. In the anime, for Sailor Moon, you have Sailor Moon R, S, Supers, and Sailor Stars. So they changed the name of the show with every new season. For Dragon Ball Z, the idea was that it was going to. You all right with the? There's some weird.
Yeah, the camera's going a bit wild.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay,
hold on. Okay,
it was good right there for a minute.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah,
I have a solution. We actually tested this with Spyros, but I do want to say that the name change. Mr. Fusion actually made a great video about what Z means and why it was made to be like that. But indeed, in many countries, Dragon Ball is still in manga form. It's just one series because that's how it was originally.
And that's the way it should be, I think. So my point is, I think that everybody should check out Dragon Ball and Z together. So even though I think people are going to be really curious about what you guys did with Z, and we're going to talk about it, I do recommend it. And here's the reason why I'm even talking about Dragon Ball Z Recut, because there's going to be an announcement in January, and whenever we're at this time, whenever something new is coming, I always tell people you should go back and watch everything again. Here's the problem, though. Over 350 episodes or something like that, some crazy, right? And so with Dragon Ball Recut and Dragon Ball Z Recut, both of them, because I've had people say like, hey, is there ever going to be a Kai version of OG Dragon Ball? Probably not. But you've got Dragon Ball recut from Milkman. So I think if you're going to go back and watch the entire story in anime form that was accurate to what Toriyama wrote, Dragon Ball recut, Dragon Ball Z recut, you can. There's so many less episodes. You can probably get it done if you watch one episode a day in like half a year. Is that fair?
Yes, I would say so. It's around, I think his recut is around 80-ish episodes, and ours is 128, so it's around 200-ish.
Yeah, and that's obviously because there's more content in Z anyways, like that you.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, even if you cut a lot, which we'll talk about the stuff that you cut, it's still, a lot. So from what I understand, Milkman was gonna do Dragon Ball Z recut, but it was too big of a project. Can you tell me not only that story, but how you guys even got involved in doing this?
Okay, can I start? I guess
sure.
Because I had seen that Milkman had done Dragon Ball recut in 2016, I believe. And then in 2017, I saw a video on YouTube talking about the original broadcast audio, right? And I was like, okay, since Milkman did that and the broadcast audio was for Z, I decided, okay, I want to do this for Z. I want to do the same thing for Z with that audio. So I got to work. I created a prototype near the end of 2018. It had some issues, though. I initially wanted that just for myself. However, I decided to post it on Kanzenshu forums. And I asked for help. Like, okay, this is good, but I want it to be better. And eventually, someone responded to me. We got in touch on Discord. That was in 2022, actually. It took a long time. People really didn't want to undertake this massive task.
It's a lot of episodes.
Yes, that's why. It's a lot of hours. And we started improving the episodes, and we started uploading them on the Internet Archive in like better formats and stuff like that. Then one more person joined, and we started thinking, at that point it was 2023, and the Seed of Might footage was out, but it wasn't when I had started. So we started thinking, what if we actually redid everything with that footage because it's better? And then in 2025, in January, we saw that Jarttis actually made the same thing up until the end of the Cell Saga. So I contacted him and said, why don't we do the Buu Saga together? And he agreed. We joined forces. We did the Buu Saga together, and we released like version 1 in February of 2025. And that kickstarted a whole avalanche of stuff. Like the team leader of Team Mirolo actually saw this, and he got interested. And he said, why don't I join you guys, and we can do it even better with my, audio editing skills and stuff like that. So me and him almost literally reshaped it from that version 1, and this is what we got now, version 2. And that's where we are at right now.
So how many people are... Oh, go ahead, brother. I was going to ask you how many people are in Team Kienzan, but you go ahead.
Yeah.
So
right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so my experience is that I was, of course, very familiar with Milkman's Dragon Ball recut. I had watched all of it. And then this is actually way earlier than before the C recut even began. In 2019, I believe, I did a recut of all of Fist of the North Star, which is another Toei anime. So then in
Classic.
2020, yeah, absolutely. So then in 2024, I was like, Milkman still hasn't made their recut of Dragon Ball Z, so I'll just begin doing it myself. And then I spent like half a year editing from Saiyan Saga to Cell Saga with the manga side by side, looking at where all the filler was and getting rid of it while still paying respect to what the episode directors individually wanted to do. And then, of course, with the Buu Saga, Spyros joined, and we spent 2 months on the Buu Saga, and it was the groundwork for version 2, so the version 1.
Mm-hmm. And you were about to ask, Yes.
Oh, I was going to ask how many members were in the team now, like because you started with 2 people, then 3, and then
Now we are 22 members with
great.
various levels of activity, but it's 22 members right now doing
And
different things.
just
Yes,
like
definitely.
with Seed of Might, this project, I want to get the word out because just like with the Seed of Might Dragon Ball versions, it's being done by fans and they're not getting paid for it. This is a lot of work done through passion and love for Akira Toriyama's work and what it meant to them. This is not you don't, they're not going to make any money on this. If you own Dragon Ball and Z, whether you have the Kai version or the old Z, whatever version you have at home, this is just another option to watch it faster. And there's it is notably different. And I'll get into that in just a minute because Looney Bin says, how do we watch this again? Basically, there's multiple ways to watch it. I do have a link to their Discord server in the description. When you go in there you can download the episodes, or you can there's, like I mentioned earlier, that some of the episodes are embedded. Well, all the episodes from what I saw, excuse me, are embedded into the Discord. So, but you guys have just the Z recut, not the Milkman ones, right? Those are not in the Discord.
Yes, because he's not in our team, so, and we're not in direct contact with him either, so
Indeed.
that's why.
I wish it would let you. That way you have everything. You know what I mean? And it's right there, easy to watch. Well, I do recommend for people, if you can't get your hands on Dragon Ball recut, just watch Dragon Ball, the one that came out, and then switch to DBZ recut. So I'll give you an example here. I want to give the people an example of like an actual, and I'm going to show examples of what you guys did in your work here in just a moment. But I want to give y'all an example of how much, what the differences are between this and Kai, because Kai took the Dragon Ball Z footage. They did the cropping for some of the versions, including the final chapters, which I don't like. And then they changed the music, they changed the voice acting, and they changed the look of it. The color palette's different. So it doesn't really look like, it doesn't match up to OG Dragon Ball, and it doesn't really look like what Dragon Ball Z looked like. This is Dragon Ball Z recut. It's not just somebody cutting Kai. It's the original Z being recut. So here's an example. The Majin Buu saga in Dragon Ball Z's anime is 92 episodes. It's episode 200 to 291. That's 92 episodes. If you are watching the final chapters, Kai, it's 69 episodes. If you're watching the Buu Saga of Kai traditional version, which is the one that aired in Japan, it's 64 episodes. DBZ recut is 41. That is a significant difference between every other version.
Yeah. Exactly.
Now, one of the things I like that you guys did, and I have to make this clear, is not every episode is 22 minutes. The episodes are different lengths, so it feels more like a streaming show. Did you do that because you struggled with, because when you're editing this and you're chopping entire episodes out, right? Like you have to be careful because go ahead, you tell me.
So I pretty much laid the groundwork for this rule. It takes a lot of inspiration from what One Piece does, and indeed, we didn't really want to limit ourselves with how we don't want to cut for the sake of just getting to the 20-minute mark, or just keep stuff in just because it's less than what we want. It's
like Kai.
So and also with this formula of us getting to choose the episode lengths, which are capped out at like 45 minutes, by the way, is that we can pretty much have an entire narrative arc, which Toriyama gave us in a single episode, like a mini arc. For example, like Vegeta's fight against Rikum is one episode, and then it's followed by Gohan's fight against Rikum, and it's the narrative arc structure per episode. Like every episode should tell something new. It really is like a streaming service series.
Yeah, the way I like to look at it is it's almost like a chapter. Like not
Yes.
necessarily a manga chapter, but like a chapter in a
Mm.
book. When you open up a book, I've never read a book where the chapters are the exact same page length. I've never read a book like that. It's
Yeah.
always
Exactly.
a few page difference. Yeah, and I'll give y'all, I'll give not you guys know, but I mean the audience. I'll give the audience an example of what they did during Goku's fight with Frieza in Dragon Ball Z. I like the Frieza fight, but good Lord, does it take a long time? Goku has his hands up for like 5 episodes in a row with the freaking the Genki Dama, the Spirit
Yep.
Bomb. In the Dragon Ball Z recut version, it goes from Kaioken 20 all the way to Super Saiyan. So
Yes.
they chopped out I mean, there's a lot to cut. And I'll be real with you, like I'm glad you cut it because it just drag on Ball Z.
Mhm.
But I think the episode was like 43 minutes, something like that. give or take.
39 actually.
39.
Almost
Yeah,
40
this is different.
almost 40
Yeah,
minutes.
it's 4 episodes put into 39 minutes.
Yeah. And in case people don't know, each Dragon Ball episode was about 20 minutes, 22
Yep.
minutes. So
Yeah.
it's like 2 episodes, but really it's
About
like
there.
length. But it's
Yeah.
but there's a lot of stuff where it's just
Mhm.
they're taking their time. Now, what kind of, because here's the issue with the editing, right? And I'm curious about this. What kind of issue did you run into when it comes to making the music fit? And because if there's music playing and then you
Mhm.
cut to another scene, how do
Mhm.
you fix that? Do you
Okay,
let the music? Yeah, I'm
I can
curious about
explain
that. That's probably
So-
very hard.
Yeah, I'll try not to get too technical. But what we do, let's say we have scene A that's in the manga and then scene B, or part of scene B that's in the manga, right? And scene B has music in it. So if you cut out the filler part from scene B, like you said, you have a chunk missing. So what we do is we glue the scenes together and then we add that chunk of the music that used to be there and we bridge them together. But we don't just
If it
add the
fits.
raw OST, synchronize it, and that's it. We actually filter it so that it also sounds exactly like the quality of Z, of the
The
Z.
mono
broad-
sound.
Like the
mono
broadcast
sound
audio.
and the actual audio quality. It's not just the mono sound, but it's also the actual quality. So it's a process. But that's how we do it basically.
Yeah, and we've taken into account that with the broadcast audio, every episode sounds slightly different. So that's also been
Yes.
taken into account with the music filtering.
It is 6 sources overall, I think, 5 or 6.
Yeah, and that right there, I feel would be the biggest challenge as far as editing goes, because and this is a little bit of clarity for the people who don't, who might not know. Toei does not have the original masters anymore. We've talked about this in other streams, and it would be so much easier if we as fans had access to the voice recordings and the audio separately, because then you can literally do whatever you want. But when it's in this old cartoon mono, you can't really mess with it. Now there's a question in the chat that I want to ask you. I want to make this clear. This is not, I don't think this person means to insult you, but the guy asked about AI. Now, before you answer, I want to let you know there is AI out there that has been known to take like audio and like take vocals out and move stuff around. I don't think he's being rude. Was there any AI involved in the project?
There's different types of AI. There's, for example, generative AI, where you type out some sentence or something, a line, and then it tries to mimic the voice actor's like voice and play back the line. There's none of that in there. That's generative AI. There is AI that simply isolates a voice line from the sound effects and the music, and we have used that, but as sparingly as possible. I would say around 2% of the entire thing uses that, and
That's
not
fair.
even
And
like in a row. It's like sparingly, some line here or another line over there, something like that. That's completely different though. That's completely
It's
different.
called UVR, the type of AI that we use, so vocal isolation, and we used like the best program for it, which runs locally on your
Yeah.
computer and
You're still
isolates the
hearing
audio.
the authentic voices from the voice actors. That part is not AI.
Yeah.
I
No, I
just
mean
want to make
that's
that clear. Yeah, yeah.
and I feel like, I feel like it's a natural question to ask because I see a lot of fan projects that are going to start doing or using it or have already used it. I mean, it makes sense. It's just this is the issue is whether it's Team Kienzan or whether it's anybody else, Milkman or even Seed of Mike, you can only work with what you're given. And like we talked about, if Toei had actually saved the audio masters and somehow K17 or one of these guys got their hands on it, totally different ballpark, because then you could move stuff around, you could chop it up, you can do whatever. But because we don't have access to any of that, you're stuck with what's on the Dragon boxes, some other materials, and that's it. So you got to do what you can do, but I think for what you guys had, I think for what you like the tools you had access to, this is about as good as it's going to get,
Pretty much, yeah. Unless
Yes.
something happens and we uncover all these original files, which I don't think they exist. But,
I wish.
For example, there's lots of edits of Dragon Ball Kai's English dub where the music and everything has been changed, but the audio is remained intact, like the voice acting, and that's easy to do in Kai English dub because it's a surround audio track. But like you said, Geekdom, we only got mono.
Yes, it's everything in basically two identical streams of audio. You can't really do much without that technology. And I'm grateful for that technology. And again, we don't abuse it. We only use it when we absolutely have to use it.
Yeah, for emergency cases, basically, from what I remember.
When you got your hands tied. Yeah, I mean, I only asked because I had to preface the question because if I just ask you, so are you guys using AI? There's people, I'm not saying you guys, but there's people in this fandom, artists who absolutely, you say AI, bro, they turn into Gohan with the like they no, AI's evil, it's ruining everything, which I understand where they're coming from. I get it. Graphic designers I get all that. And so I wanted to ask you respectfully because like I said, there's people where they hate AI, and I'm not saying that I disagree with them. I understand why, but I think I think AI, there are certain people that have a very black or white opinion on it, whereas it's nuanced. There is good you can do with it. It's not just going to be Skynet,
Yeah, it's a tool. It's like a hammer. If you use it in a good way, it's gonna do good. If you use it in a bad way, you can even, hit someone or whatever, It's the same. It's a tool.
I want to address this because I want you guys don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but I want to address this. 100% Falconer is the only way I can really enjoy my watch, leave me whatever. So here's where I end up being confused about this. Okay. Bruce Falconer and the Falconer Productions music only did from the Frieza saga to the end to the Buu saga. So by your logic, you can't watch the Saiyan saga. You can't watch the first half of the Frieza saga. So all that stuff sucks. So then and you can't watch Super. You can't watch GT. You can't watch OG Dragon Ball. You can't watch Daima. So by your own logic, you can't watch most of the movies. By your own logic, everything in Dragon Ball Z sucks except for what Falconer did. I want you to think about that for a minute. I understand people have nostalgia for the Falconer score. Those guys that made that music are personal friends of mine. I've interviewed them twice, soon 3 times, right? They are friends of mine. Scott, Julius, and Mike, I have hung out with them. I have had lunch with them. So it's not a thing where I hate Bruce Falconer. That's not what it is. But when people say Falconer's the only way I can watch it, I'm like, okay, are you actually a fan of Dragon Ball or are you a fan of the music? Now, it's okay if you're a fan of the music. It's okay. Yeah. Okay, you like the music. It helps you work out. You lost a bunch of weight. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But when I see people say I can't watch it, I can't enjoy it without Falconer, Come on, man.
I do have something to say to this, and I understand that the Falconer score is very important for many people, and it's just from my experience, this is going to be a huge plot twist. But the first time I watched Dragon Ball Z at the age of like, I don't know, 12, I actually watched with the orange bricks and Bruce Falconer score turned on. So that was my first experience with Dragon Ball Z. And then later on, I kind of discovered Kikuchi, the original composer, which is the score currently the only score in this recut. And it just, I believe you can learn to love a lot of different things, and it's not necessarily that the Falconer score may be the only good one. It's just like you haven't maybe given the other scores a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, like I said, I'm the only content creator who had a live concert with Mike, Julius, and Scott.
Oh.
Like, it's not like I hate the music at all. It's just when I see people, somebody said it the other day on Twitter too. When I see people say I can only watch with Falconer, it's like, so you can't watch Goku versus Vegeta, you can't watch Vegeta versus Raccoon. Like, you're missing all these great fights because you're so tied, you're so emotionally tied into Falconer. That's the where I'm confused, because then of course, like I said, do you really like Dragon Ball, or do you just like that music? And it's okay if you just like that music, do you? It's just, I've seen that comment come up a lot. I've had other people say like, okay, well, other people have said I love the Falconer score, but I can watch it in Japanese, I can watch it in Kai, I can do whatever. I like that mentality more. I like when people can just kind of enjoy it for what it is. And ultimately, here's the reality of the situation, and this is unarguable. We talked about this on the podcast I did earlier this week with Black and Fist. Dragon Ball and Z is basically supposed to sound like an old kung fu movie. That is the sound of Dragon Ball. I'm not saying that the Falconer music is horrible or any of that. I'm just saying it's intended to sound like that. Therefore, that's where it goes. So anyways, moving on. I would like to go ahead and talk about and show some of the work you've done here, because I want to actually give the people samples. Did you want to go into some of the edits, or did you want me to go into the channel and actually show them? You can kind of tell me. You tell me what you want me to show, and then you talk about it.
Okay, Jarttis can do that.
I have the YouTube channel pulled up, but I haven't picked a
specific one. Okay.
Yeah, we can do either one, because I want people to see some of this stuff, because it really is closer to the manga, and it really is like, okay, I'll shut up, you go ahead. I can say a lot, but you go ahead.
So I can just pick a video from the YouTube channel which I want to highlight, I assume.
Yeah, you tell me. I have it pulled up right here. Just all you gotta do is tell me which one, and I'll click it. Yeah,
so first, maybe aside from edits, I want to address some of the other cool stuff we do. There's a video on the channel called Gohan's Masenko.
Okay, let me.
Oh, right. Yeah. That's a short and good one.
Yeah, I have it. I'm pulling it up right now. Let me hold
if
on.
You click on the playlist, it's like the first video. I have them sorted in saga order, pretty much.
Hold on 1 second. I have to share the screen here. Okay, Dragon Ball Z recut. Okay, all right. So now I'm going to play. I have to be careful because of copyright, but this is during the battle with Vegeta. I believe this is what, Dragon Ball Z episode 34, I think it is 33, 34. Yeah,
like
but not for recut, because the Saiyan saga for DBZ recut's 15 episodes, I believe.
Yep.
Right.
Well, it depends where you want to split the arc, but yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to just hit play on this, or do you want to say something then I hit play?
So okay, I can give a bit of a preface. This is the famous error where Gohan says that he's firing a Kamehameha.
That's
when
right.
In actuality, he's firing a Masenko, and we we found a clip from the fake Namek saga where Gohan does the Masenko, and since that material is not in our recut, we was like, oh wait, that's a great voice line we can use to fix this error. So yeah, you can hit play
So he
now.
actually says Masenko this time.
Yes.
And you matched it up with the mouth, bro.
Yes,
Bro,
yes.
this tickles my taint right here, bro. Now I want to watch. I want to watch the whole episode.
It is addictive to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Well, it is, but it's a different. Like I said, it's a new way to watch it because it's.
Yeah, definitely.
I've seen Dragon Ball Z. God knows how many times. I'm the autist that people are like, hey, Geekdom, what episode did Gohan kill Cell? 191. Hey, Geekdom, what episode did Vegeta leave Earth? 35. I literally have all the that's how fucking obsessive I am over this shit. And yet this is another way to watch it. So why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was a good fix.
I want to say one quick thing. JT Netson, number one, this is your last warning. You disrespect me or my guest, you're going to be out of here, bro. I'll send you to the pit of hell. I'm being nice to you about this. Number two, don't tell me to press play. This is my stream. You sit back and you watch, or you go play in the sandbox. I'm being nice. I'm being nice to you. I'm not being mean. You are being rude. Last warning. Wisco Dippers, will you ever have Linda Young or the English voices of Bobbity and Danara on icons? You asked me a similar question the other day, bro. I would love to have Linda Young on. Maybe I will ask her. Maybe I will get her because I have direct contact with her. I don't know about Bobbity or Danara. So I'm sorry, brother. Continue. You were saying?
I forgot what I was about to say.
I'm sorry. We're talking about the Gohan thing. Did you want me to do another clip?
Yeah, sure. We can go next. We can go to Vegeta's emotional rage.
That one's a bit longer.
That's okay. Vegeta's emotional rage, number one.
It was on the right side.
Oh, that I missed it already?
Yeah, it's right there.
Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, this is the Trunks thing. Okay.
Yes.
See, I like this because it's and by the way, y'all, this is on their YouTube channel, so you can feel free to look at any of these clips if you want to on your own time. And then of course the you can see it's right there. The recuts on the left, the originals on the right. So
yeah, so basically in this scene, the anime Toei did something that we didn't like, which is change Vegeta's character motivations from what Toriyama intended and what was in the manga. So in the manga, Vegeta is very clearly upset over the fact that Cell just fired a beam attack on True Trunks, and then he gets his emotional rage. Whereas in the anime originally, it was portrayed to be like he's thinking about Kakarot and everything else. Like, you can play the clip and see what the anime came up with, but it's not the original reason for his rage.
Is there a specific timestamp or just
all right, it's here you can
We'll
play from
start
here.
seeing differences if you go to
You can start from here.
from here? Okay.
Yeah, from here as well.
I have to turn it down a little bit because I don't want the AI bots to find me on YouTube.
Sure, yeah.
Torankusu. I had to pause this so the AI bot doesn't find
So
me.
yeah, this is the original reasoning.
Okay, I have to address I have to address something in the chat. It's not anything bad. I hope that some of the filler is kept, as there are some parts that people really like the Gohan robot episode, The Lost Children, and Bobbity in Hell.
Okay,
brother,
we can address this now.
Yeah, that's not what this is, dude. If you want to watch that, go watch Dragon Ball Z. What's the point of doing something called Dragon Ball Z Recut to make it more like the manga if you're going to leave stuff in that's not in the manga? What's the point, bro? Go ahead.
There is none, but I want to address a little something. Some people have indeed said this, and it's a bit of an answer to this. They're not included in the main episode folder, but we did actually, as a bonus include best of filler, like compilations. There are 5 of them, and they have the driving episode and Gohan and Robot and They have a few surprises, so people can watch those from the extra folder if they want. So
Yeah,
some of
it's
that
like
stuff.
it's like 5 little episodes in
Yeah, it's
between the
basically
canon ones that are completely
basically
optional, by the way.
yeah, completely
you know,
optional.
but you know what this question reminds me of? So I'm drinking here Mr. Pibb Zero Sugar, right? That would be like if I bought this and said, I hope there's still sugar in this, you know, because it says zero sugar. I hope there's still a little bit of sugar in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's
doesn't make
not
sense
valid.
to ask about the main episodes and expecting there to be a filler. That's true.
That doesn't, yeah. And plus, like we talked about, you can always go and watch that on your own, or you can watch DBZ Recut, and then when that episode comes up, pause it, go watch it, come back. Like people, you
Yeah,
have control over what you want to watch. That's why this
Yeah.
exists. You can watch Kai, you can watch in Japanese, you can watch it in English, you can watch it in Portuguese. There's a million ways to watch this show. So
Right. Yeah.
let's continue. I like this a lot, bro. I like this a lot. 'Cause it's all about Trunks. It's about Trunks, not
Yes.
about
Yeah,
Kakarot.
I
Yes,
see what. Yeah,
yes.
there it's going Kakarot. Like, what does he matter in this situation?
You're right. And he didn't say it in the manga. It was all about Trunks.
Yeah. All of our decisions are based on the manga.
And then Cell has his line, yep.
Mhm.
Which you kept them. So wait a minute. Cell okay, time out. This is what we were talking about earlier. Because in the original episode, Cell says, "Did I hit Trunks?" and the music is not playing. So you had to edit Cell saying that into the music, or did you put the
Yes.
music?
I believe this
We
is a case of UVR. Yeah.
We moved. I don't remember if this is UVR actually.
Okay.
It's all documented, by the way, in our Discord. So okay.
Oh, you have
And
like notes of every edit?
Yes, of every single time we used UVR, it's crystal clear. We're not hiding in or whatever. So we moved the line here, and we added the music to blend in with the scene's music. So it's like seamless, and you don't realize when the cut happens or whatever. That's what we did. Pretty complicated edit.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the stuff I really appreciate about this project. See, like we talked about, if I'm just watching Dragon Ball Z and I see a scene play out, like I've seen it since I was 13, so 12, whatever. But like with Dragon Ball Z Recut, because I know this series, and I'm not the only one. This is not about me, but there's fans besides me that know this series so intimately. We've seen these episodes sometimes dozens, if not hundreds of times. Like I'm such a loser. I'm such a virgin that I know the script to Dragon Ball Z episode 120 in Japanese, you know, like I don't even speak Japanese just from hearing it so many times. When you see Dragon Ball Z Recut and you see that there was a change, people like me are instantly like, wait a minute, that's not how it's supposed to be. And I like that because that's the stuff where it's like, this is where the work came in. See, that's what I like. And I sort of did it with Kai, but the problem with Kai is it's got that plastic look, and it doesn't look like Dragon Ball Z. This is still Dragon Ball Z. Look, I'm not trying to disparage Kai. I'm really not. I like the way Dragon Ball Z looks more than the way Kai looks. Just being honest. I like the fluidity of the colors. You know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay. You want to go ahead? Okay, I have a super chat. It's unrelated, but I'll quickly go into it. I'm actually kind of worried about Toriyama's editor's comments about Akio because I don't want DB going back to how DBZS was with the bad production. Okay, brother, if you watch the video I put out last night, I want you to watch it and I want you to listen carefully because I said that in the video last night. Torishima is not involved in Dragon Ball. He's an old man who's retired. His comments are not going to affect Dragon Ball. Please watch the video I put out last night. Thank you for more information. Thank you for your generous super chat. That's unrelated to the topic, but I will answer it because I'm going to answer questions that people put money. It's your hard-earned money, and I appreciate that. Check out the video last night so you can hear. I go into all of that and what it meant in detail. Now, back to Dragon Ball Z Recut. Is there a different clip that you have or anything?
The most recent one, actually, that we uploaded is a pretty good one. That's
Future
yeah,
Trunks
this one.
versus Frieza?
Yes, this one.
Oh,
You
okay.
can
I
start
also
at
wanna
around.
show this one off because this is one that
Oh, yes,
everyone was
that
going
one too.
crazy over.
Yeah, they
But
were
we'll do
asking
this.
about it. But
Okay,
So from
I
the
just
third minute
okay.
on and on or something like that, you can skip to around 3 minutes or so.
Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. You took out the Goku PTSD flashback. Look, I like the PTSD. I like
Oh,
the
we
P.
didn't.
Oh
We
no,
didn't.
wait, no, you didn't take it out. I'm
It's
sorry.
not.
It's sooner. I apologize.
We took out the ad break section from this part. So that's
right.
why they're not synchronized. But the big edit comes a little bit later. That's why I told you. But you can play it from here if you want to.
From 3 minutes, yeah, because that's the part that goes
Yes.
and then it goes to commercial break. Yeah. Let me make this big here. So okay, so this is Dragon Ball Z episode 120. Nakatsuru did the animation. It's one of the best. This is one of the best episodes of the entire series, and it's also one that I streamed last Saturday. Now I want to let you know something. Later today at 1 p.m., so about 3 hours from now, I'll be back on Twitch. We're going to do Dragon Ball Z episodes 121 to 123. Make sure that you are there. We're watching it in high quality HD with the beautiful, broadcast audio. That's later today at 1. So after this stream, I'm going to go get some food, come back, and we're going to do the thing. So I'm going to hit play on this, and then we'll talk more about it. By the way, if y'all would have cut out Battle Point Unlimited, you wouldn't be here right now. I would say don't watch this.
Of course not. That's blasphemy.
Yeah, no, we wouldn't.
Never, please. I'll read the manga and have that playing in the background. Yeah, I memorized the damn episode.
Oh, I don't have audio right now.
Your microphone.
Oh,
went.
sorry. I said I'm going to pause it here for copyright reasons.
Okay.
I'm not trying to annoy people, but I don't want this stream to get copyrighted because showing the footage is important. So
yeah.
So what's supposed to happen in the episode is there's another Frieza blasts him again. Trunks fucking does the thing where he deflects it back. Then Frieza goes for the Planet Vegeta Planet Destroyer. And then Trunks picks it up with one hand, which is the most Chad shit we've ever seen up until that point. However, as cool as it is, not in the manga.
And really difficult to edit in. So yeah.
I'm sure you were in pain. If I were you and I was sitting in front of that editing software and I had to hit delete on that fucking Trunks thing, I would be in pain, So you added the effects from later in the episode in.
Right. Yeah.
Now, I want to, again, for copyright reasons, I want to pause this real quick. Right here, this is later in the original episode when Trunks is about to hit the burning attack. So I want to highlight, I'm letting everybody know, I'm just basically letting everybody know what in case you don't remember what the original episode was versus what you're doing. Because there's a lot that was cut around and moved around.
Around 7 minutes.
Yeah, it's 7 minutes here. And yeah, exactly. You did it. It's so smooth, bro. You put the music in, you had it fade out, and you hear Frieza. It's so smooth. This shit looks like it was done by professionals.
Thank you.
No, I'm not even sucking you all off. This looks like it was done by professionals, bro. I don't want to say better than Kai because that's disrespectful, but in some ways, Here it comes again.
The song.
Yes. This is how it was in the manga, bro. In the manga, this fight is fast. Trunks did not dick around.
Yeah.
And by the way, for the record, guys, when you actually watch the episode, it does have subtitles. Just because the clip does not have subtitles, there are subtitles in the actual episode.
Good to
Which I
point
have
out,
to
yeah.
ask you about, because did you have to move subtitles around because of the editing? Did you have to like chop up the subtitle?
So back when version 1 was being made, yes, but nowadays we've got an automated script for it, which we still have to tinker with sometimes, but yeah, Spyros can go more in depth if.
Yeah, so Andy, the team leader of Team Mirolo, has created a script. And that script actually detects the audio file within the episode, and it generates subtitles based on what it detects. And it's pretty accurate, I would say. It still needs manual editing after that, but it's nowhere near as hard as manually moving subtitles all around. It saves a
Bro.
whole lot of time.
I have another YouTube channel that nobody knows about where I was playing around with AI subtitles and things like that. And yes, there is no way. And I want to share a quick story with people, man. When I was younger and the Dragon boxes came out, this is like 2003, and they leaked. There were episodes online that were not subtitled. And because I was a fucking loser and still am, I downloaded the episodes and manually subtitled them myself based on my fan subs. This level of time consumption, the only people, and I only did it for passion. I didn't get paid for it. So that's why I can relate to Team Kienzan and DBZ. Team Kienzan and Seed of Might and Milkman. It's all done for passion, but dude, it's tedious work. The shit takes time. Let's continue this last clip, because anytime I get to hear Battle Point Unlimited, bro, I'm not gonna give that up, bro. Frieza! Of course, we know what happens here.
Yeah, we know what happens now.
Yeah. But
I think
notice
it's the same now.
In the Z version, though, it's all this stuff. The Bulma, when Yamcha calls Bulma an idiot and fucking she grabs him by the ear.
Yeah. And
I like these character moments, but again, not in the manga.
Yeah. And people can always just watch Z, as you said, if they really want that.
Yes, and that's available. Now, I do want to. This is something that was shown to me a while ago. I want to highlight this because we're about to go to a whole new level of editing. Before we do, though, I want to get the super chat. Thank you, End Most Cobra, for the generous super chat. He says, I know, I'm just saying, because if DBS comes back within the year and then they decided to pull an OPM, which is One Punch Man, and start producing the last few months is mainly what I'm worried about. I know he's not involved, but it's possible he's seen stuff. All right, I'm going to calm your nerves here because you're not the only person. Okay, before I actually say it, have you guys, like both of you guys, have you guys been following this One Punch Man season 3 story?
Yeah, personally, yes.
Okay. The One Punch Man season 3 situation has created something that I'm calling One Punch Man season 3 derangement syndrome. We have anime fans now that are worried that every anime that's going to come out from now on is going to have that problem. Guys, I assure you, this One Punch Man season 3 issue is a One Punch Man season 3 issue. Even Dragon Ball Super, with those early episodes that didn't look so good, even that was nowhere near what One Punch Man season 3 did with its animation. A lot of anime fans are like, bro, it feels like they're traumatized. They're like, no, please, I don't want the next Fire Force to end up like this. I don't want the My Hero movie. It's not going to happen, bro. Trust me, if Dragon Ball, whatever the next Dragon Ball project is, it ain't going to be One Punch Man season 3. It took them 3 years to fully produce Daima. It ain't going to be the same. Do y'all have any thoughts on that?
Jarttis.
Well, I agree that Dragon Ball Super was, even in the early episode, it was much better than One Punch Man season 3. And what happened with One Punch Man season 3 is absolutely insane.
But it only has happened to One Punch Man season 3. It's not like every other anime's had that problem.
Yeah, true.
Okay, Magan Hassan, will you do this for OG Dragon Ball 2? You must have shown up late, brother. First of all, welcome. It's already been done. Prior to Team Kienzan doing Z, OG Dragon Ball was done by Milkman. So
Yes.
that edit has already been complete. Well, Z is too, but I mean, you know that now
And,
Z is complete.
and he's updating his setting. He will release a new version in 2026. But
Really?
this version that yes, that's what he said.
I didn't even know that.
He said he will use the color corrected footage from Seed of Might. So it's gonna come
That's
out.
not out yet, is it?
It
For
is, but
original
they're
Dragon Ball,
doing
it is.
an update for it. Like they did release it, and now they're doing an update for it. He's gonna use the updated footage. He's waiting for that.
But C
Oh,
doesn't
that's
have color
right. That's
corrected
right.
yet.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Z color corrected.
Yes,
That's what
Z's not out yet. Z's not out yet.
There's
We are
a
waiting
rumor.
for it.
I heard from a little bird it might be on Christmas Day. Is that true?
Might be. They keep saying 2025, and we only have like 3 weeks left in 2025. So
I think it'd be really funny if they just released it the final day of the year.
that would be funny too. Like the final
No.
minute.
Fine. Yes, I was just gonna say that 11:59 p.m., which sucks because for me it would be for you, Spiro, at both you guys, because you're still Jarvis, you're still in Finland, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you guys would be. It would already be January 1st.
Yeah.
For me, it would be.
will be.
Yeah. Yeah, because guess what, folks? The Earth is round, not flat. All right.
Yes.
I know a guy in my real life who actually thinks the Earth is flat. I'm not going to get into it here. If you're in my Discord, I've told the story. It's something. All right, now let's get to this clip here. Okay.
Right.
Wait, I'm trying to get. Hold on, I'm trying to get all three of you guys on the screen, and now it's being difficult. Oh. Okay, we'll just go to it. Okay, now let me. I'll set this clip up. So, in the original manga, when Goku finishes Frieza off on Namek, he makes a very interesting face. Now, I want to explain this to people because I feel like a lot of Dragon Ball fans might get this confused. It's not that Goku was sad that Frieza presumably was killed. That's not what's going on here, because Goku has no love lost for Frieza. Frieza killed his best friend. It's that Goku sees the death of Frieza as being a disappointment because Frieza had so much potential to be a great martial artist, and instead he had to be a douchebag and try to kill Goku. So Goku makes this look on his face where it's like, what a waste of a potentially great opponent. And in the Dragon Ball Z version that Toei did, his face is not the same. So before I play it, do you guys want to talk about it, or should I play it and then we talk about it?
Play it first, in my opinion.
Okay. Let's do that then. So check this out. This is right after Goku finishes off Frieza. I'm gonna cue it up right here. The music is very fitting as well for that, like very fitting. Okay, so I want to stop.
That's the original music, yes.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just putting it over because it's great. Okay, so on the right is what Toei did. On the left, we'll talk about what you guys actually did here, but more blood. It's, you know what, you talk about it. This is an actual change to how it looks.
Yeah. So Jarttis can talk about it because he got the clip from the original artist who made it, so he knows the full story better than I do.
Yeah, so I was directed to, I believe, Alejo Alado is the original artist for this edit, and basically I asked for permission. We asked for permission to use it in our recut, and they accepted. And currently, I believe this is getting updated by the same person for the next version as well. Is
Yes.
that correct, Spyros?
Yes, yes.
Since people have pointed out that it looks like the body type doesn't quite look like the original drawing by Taichiro Ohara. So we, for the next version, we just want to maintain Goku's expression while keeping the body type the same. But still, even currently, it's very important that the viewer gets the same intended emotion as the manga.
By Toriyama,
No.
yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And this, I feel like this is above and beyond. Like you didn't have to. You could have done Dragon Ball Z recut and not even had to do this. This is just pure love of the series. And I want to clarify something. Earlier, when I was calling myself like a loser and all that, I'm just kidding. All right, the real word would be a hardcore fan, and you have to be a hardcore fan in order to like comb the series like with a fine tooth, whatever they call it. I don't know. I don't speak English that well, but my point is, this feels like again, it's not necessary, but it is necessary. It's like when I saw it, I was like, I wonder how many people are going to notice it who are just casuals, but the hardcores, it's immediate. Like there's more blood. He has that look where it's like, okay, this is a disappointment. Are there other examples of this that I can show?
Yes. You can show the one with Vegeta giving the Goku Kakarot your number one, that speech.
Oh, and that's another thing that people get wrong. This one. Okay. So, do you have a place you want me to go, or?
Well, from the first moment that he starts talking, you can see the massive difference with his injuries there, and I can explain why we did that. I can't see it right now. I don't see the video.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right I'm sorry. I had it pulled up. I was being an idiot. Okay.
Okay. Now I see it.
There we go. Okay. Actually, can I? No, I can't do what I wanted to do. Okay. Okay. Yes. Is this it? The spot right here?
Okay. Yeah. For example, here you can see that in the original Z, he's got scratches all over his face, injuries and stuff like that. Now, why is that? That's because Toei added another filler fight where Vegeta fights Kid Buu. He gets scratches and battle scars and all of that, and then Goku joins in again, and he fights Buu and stuff like that, and then Vegeta gives a speech, and then Vegeta fights Buu again, which is actually the adapted version from the manga. In the manga, Vegeta fights Kid Buu once. So we cut out that entire filler fight. So of course we had to think. By the way, we think about that stuff all the time. If you cut something out, you think of the butterfly effect that has later on when they reference it visually or audibly, right? So we tried to remove all the references to that filler fight that we have cut out.
That's crazy. That's because you didn't again, just like the previous clip, you didn't have to do this because even if you take out that extra fight with Kid Buu, it makes sense that Vegeta be this injured because he just got done fighting Kid Buu. It's like he fought him once, right, and all that, but like he fought inside of Buu and like it wasn't like he just this is like after. What I'm trying to say is ever since Baba brought him back, he was fighting. So injuries make sense, but because it's not in the manga, you had to, or you felt like you had to. Yeah.
Yes. That was a very difficult edition.
But it's so smooth. Like if I hit play here, right? See, like, did you have to go in frame by frame to erase the lines?
Pretty much. Yeah, I didn't do that edit. Andy did from Team Mirolo. And if you open up that project file, we have shared the project files actually publicly. If you open up that project file, the program itself is lagging so much because of all the frames that it's insane. Actually, it's like a tower, an entire skyscraper. It's insane.
Because I'm thinking about that. Like I haven't done too much work on that. Like I edit obviously, but like that type of editing is just what you guys are literally doing is you're kind of doing what and this is not exactly the same thing, but it's similar. When a company puts out a 4K release, a new 4K transfer of a movie, They get the 35 millimeter film, they scan it, then they have to go in and erase any pieces of tape, any fingerprints, any little dirt splotches, and you have to have a good eye. I had bad eyesight. I had surgery a month and a half ago, and now I have 20/20 vision. I'm only wearing these because I don't want to look like a panda on stream, and because it's blue light filter. But for a long time, I couldn't do this. But you have to have a good eye for it to erase every little imperfection. You're sort of doing that. It's not exactly the same thing, but it still requires somebody with an eye to paint over it, and you had to match up the colors too. And that's another thing that could be, and the shading, because notice on Vegeta's nose, right? The shading has to match or else it doesn't look right.
Yeah. And it looks pretty natural, I can say, at least to most people. I cannot really notice any differences. It's just natural to me.
It's natural.
Yeah.
I was just showing them the thing. So real quick, let me get this Wisco Dipper super chat. Do you think the Dragon Ball Z dubbed had better screaming than the Kai dub? That's subjective, I think, and I've said this a bajillion times, and it's true. And it goes back to that Falconer question earlier. People have a lot of nostalgia for Z. People have wild nostalgia for Dragon Ball Z's dub. It's powerful. So I think people who have that nostalgia are gonna lean towards, no, Z had better screams, better voice acting, etc. But if you look at things from an objective lens, if you take your nostalgia out of it, Kai is just a better performed show. And I do think the screams are probably, I like Sean Schemmel's Kaioken 20 in Kai more than I do in Z. So again, it is subjective. Some disagree with this, but I think that when you're asking about Z versus Kai, dude, you have to always take into account people's nostalgia, because it does blind you. It really can. So do y'all have a preference? Or I know y'all are purists to watch it in Japanese, but do you guys have a preference as far as which show had better screams?
Well, I grew up partially with the Greek dub, first of all, because that's what was airing on TV here.
And you said it was bad.
Yes, it's really, really bad. And because it was bad, I don't remember where I found them. Like, I started finding episodes in Japanese in the early 2000s with English subtitles. And then I realized how much better it is. And that's why I'm so attached to the Japanese one. And I'm not really attached to English because I never really watched the show growing up in English. I don't know about Jarttis, though.
Jarttis, do you have a different experience?
Well, since my only experience with the English dub is the original English dub, since I watched it when I was young. But from the clips I've seen of Kai, I think, they sound good in Kai as well. The screams that was the question. But I don't know, no preference really. But I will say, I think we're probably going to get into this later, but from a Japanese standpoint, I think the original C had better screams than Kai.
Yes.
Agreed, 100%. And that all has to do with the actors' ages.
Yes.
And something else that I would that people have to remember, and this applies to both dub and sub, but even more for the sub. So you have to remember, these actors like Nozawa, Horikawa, Ryusei Nakao, Norio Wakamoto, not only did they dub Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Kai, they also dubbed all the video games. So that means that Nozawa has probably done the speech, the I am the Super Saiyajin Son Goku speech. She's probably done that speech like 15 times in or more, maybe.
More,
because when I remember when DBZ Kakarot was coming out, I was talking to Sabat and Schemmel frequently because they were asking me questions. Oh, look at Geekdom flexing. No, there's a reason I'm telling you the story, because Sabat had forgot. He's like, when Vegeta revealed that Piccolo was a Namekian, is that the first time he found out about it? And I was like, yeah, that's it. I went into the whole thing. And so these are the questions they would ask me. And then Sean asked me about the Hope of the Universe, because with him, it was Hope of the Universe for a little while. And then when the game started getting more accurate to the Japanese and with Kai, he had to flip it to I'm the Super Saiyan Son Goku. So, but in Japanese, these actors have had to say the same lines like 100 times over again. So I think, that's kind of
And they
funny.
sound more tired in Kai, according to most people, at least.
I think so, because they were already in their 30s when Z was coming out. Some of them in their 40s, and Kai,
No, Zabo was like 45, yeah.
Yeah, well, but she's not human, bro. She's not a human being. Team Kienzan, if you see this, do you keep off-screen moments, Toei shows, Gotenks fighting Fat Boo?
So
you guys answer that, bro. I know the answer.
Yeah, stuff like that is called implied filler. Even though it canonically did happen, the Toriyama did not intend for it to be shown.
Yes.
That's pretty much it.
We have a clip
some people
of that.
Some people call it implied canon, but I hate that word. So I actually do understand why he's asking that question, but I want to make it clear. Dragon Ball Z Recut is trying to make it as close to the manga as possible, and that means sacrifices must be made. You must die so that I may live. So unfortunately, I love Gotenks versus Fat Boo. I love he gets his ass whipped. I love that it's on like a pier with battleships. I love that fight, but it's not in the manga. And this whole thing is about Toriyama. So,
and it's also about the delivery of that joke in the manga, where you actually see him flying off to fight Boo in one panel, and then pretty much in the next couple of panels he comes back all beaten up, bruised, and says, oops, he beat me up. And that delivery gets lost in the anime, right? So we did it exactly like the manga to preserve
so now the
that
joke is
it's and that's the thing, like it works, like it actually works. And like Medios is saying, you can if there's filler you want to see, just go see it. It's not like if you download Dragon Ball Z Recut that Team Kienzan put a virus in the file that erases all your Z episodes off your hard drive. That's not how it works, bro. You can have both,
Yes.
I saw someone talking about the Goku sad face, comparing the recut to Star Wars special editions, which no, it's not like that. You can watch the original.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, the Star Wars special editions at least you guys didn't change who shot first and stuff like that. Then that would have been something. So I have some notes here I wanted to talk about real quick. Spyro sent me a list of edits. Now this is comparing DBZ Recut to Kai. So those of you in the chat who have seen Kai and you think, well, I don't need to watch DBZ Recut, I've seen Kai. It is not the same thing. Like we mentioned earlier, it's faster, and it's the Z music, Z voices, Z visuals. It's the way it was produced in 1989 to 1996. So one example here is Goku Kaioken times 3, which leads to the iconic left hook he lands on Vegeta. Kai has actually cut out a manga panel here, and also the epic wind-up animation leads to the left hook. You guys kept it in where the hand goes back.
Yes, because that is an extension of the adapted manga panel, which Toei has cut out in Kai. And okay, it's a little bit faster in Kai, right? Sure, it's like faster by 6 seconds, but at what expense? Like we really think about that stuff before we start cutting out things, because this is not a speed run blindly going through the story. It also aims to preserve the atmosphere, and Toei just didn't do that. It just feels in Kai, it just feels like just a regular left hook. It doesn't have that impact behind it.
Right? Yes, and not to mention that I've talked about this too. The Kamehameha Gallic Gun beam struggle in Z has a lot of very fast strobe lighting effects, which were cut from Kai, probably because of the Porygon situation in Japan.
Probably.
I think they were afraid that, people were going to have seizures. I love the way it looks in Z, but if you're somebody who is sensitive to that stuff, I understand Kai. But your guys' version, it's the Z one. So
Yep.
Yes.
So if you have seizures, bro, when you watch DBZ recut, just cover your eyes for a couple seconds, bro.
Yeah, it's just
all
a
right.
few seconds in.
Turning Goku versus Vegeta into a thematic trilogy in contrast to Kai, which is creatively bound by TV airing times. In contrast, this is what we talked about earlier about how the episodes are different lengths.
Yes, yes.
The scene where Goku is showcasing Kaioken power to Ginyu, that's a great one. Kai butchered this by cutting out a very iconic manga panel by Toriyama.
Do you remember that? Yeah, do you remember that? It's a really memorable panel where it pretty much has Goku taking up the whole page. I don't have that right now, but in front of me. But it's like a really memorable panel where Goku takes up the whole page pretty much.
Yes.
And Toei in Z, they used it at the previous episode before Goku reached his 180,000, I believe it was, 180,000 power level. And Toei used it at the end of that episode before Goku reached that level. So I'm guessing Toei didn't want to place it elsewhere, so they just cut it out. And the whole scene just kind of feels meh, I should say. I don't know what word to use here, but cutting out canon when you're claiming that you're trying to be closer to the manga is kind of like counterintuitive in my opinion, a little bit, right? Like, why are you cutting canon?
Bro, I've been saying that for years, dude. Kai, I mean, okay, it's technical, but they say, you know, all action, no filler. And it's like, okay, that's a lie because there is filler. And and you're cutting out stuff from the manga. Yeah. And it's like, I'm not trying to turn it into a we hate Kai. That's not what this is, but there is some misleading advertising here.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I don't have to read the manga because I watch Kai. Well, there are some differences.
You should read the manga anyway. Even if you watch this recut, the manga is amazing.
Yeah. Right here, I did want to highlight that what we talked about earlier. I forgot that I had this here. Vegeta with the clean face on the left, and then Vegeta with the clean face on the right, from the manga. So it's meant to match up. Now, what about this Band-Aid here? This is from the Saiyaman stuff. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, Jarttis can do that.
So basically, in the original anime, there was a whole filler episode with the Great Saiyaman doing. It's been so long since I saw that filler episode because I've been watching.
Was it the dinosaur one?
Yeah, probably. But anyways, he got injured from it, and then in the next episode, or like at the end of that episode, there's a scene where Videl takes off the bandage and says, "I knew you were the Great Saiyaman," but we have the manga explanation where like Videl recognizes Gohan by the voice.
Yeah, and it's this is cool because it's, you know, it's a nice edit that it's just making it more consistent. Now, somebody in the chat was asking about Gregory, so I understand this is a hard one because Toei couldn't get rid of him either. I understand Gregory's not in the manga, fair, but like in order for Gregory to have been cut out of Dragon Ball Z recut, you would have had to have. Oh my God, just thinking about it makes me scared. I'm not afraid of hard work. You would have had to have erased him from potentially thousands of frames, right?
Yes. And it's also his voice. We would have to mute his voice. And what about the scenes where Goku is chasing him? And it's just, oh my God.
It doesn't make sense to remove him either because like the shots are framed around him existing as well.
That too, like it would look.
You would have to crop it.
Really weird. Yeah, it would just look weird.
Also, I believe Gregory's character design was drawn by Toriyama, so it's not even that big of a loss to have him there.
I agree. He's just there in the background, and really, the reality of Gregory is he's only highlighted in one episode, and that's it. Like you see him in the background.
His screen time in Zirika is not even that much. Like if you watch it, it's not even that much.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough work being done to DBZ recut to where things like that, that would just take so long and be it would be painstaking when in reality Gregory doesn't really affect the story. It's just a background character.
Yeah, he's just like, he's pretty harmless, I would say.
So the Frieza crab eating scene explaining how Toei does a mock-up adaptation of a panel and then repeats it with the actual manga adaptation, so we keep the adaptation that is actually faithful. That was an interesting scene. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so that's about 3 minutes of filler that include, when Frieza empties out the bottom of the sea or something, and Vegeta is down there. He grabs him with his tail. He kind of like chokes him and hits him, which is in the manga, but the framing is completely different. What happens is then he kind of toys with him, and then he slams him outside of the sea onto the ground, and then he goes and grabs him with his tail again. And that's the actual adaptation. So we only kept that instead of that mock-up adaptation, like I said.
It was actually very common to see Toei adapting the same scene twice.
Yes. Your Super Saiyan 2 Gohan clip is a great example of that. Because, and for those who don't remember, if you're watching Z, at the end of 184, Gohan transforms. Then at the beginning of 185, there's a long sequence where he's still powering up. Now, the music and the way it looks is dope. In the Dragon Ball Z recut version, which I might be able to pull it up here in just a minute, I really liked how y'all basically just chopped it up to where it was one big transformation, like in the manga, and then 185 is like cut and then glued to like the end of 184.
It's actually in the next episode that we do this. We started from a little bit later, pretty much.
You chop and then stick. Right? Yeah, I don't know. Am I saying that right? I don't know.
It works.
All right, let me find it because I do want to highlight that. That's a lot of people's favorite scene. Don't worry, y'all. Spirit versus Spirit is still there.
It's still there. Untouched.
Yeah, it's still there. It's still there. Cool. So don't worry. If it wasn't, I'd be mad. All the songs are still there. I do want to address this comment. Saiyan backstory wasn't kept. It contradicts canon on the destruction of Planet Vegeta. Actually, here comes the nerd side of me. Actually, yes, you are correct. But Toriyama, little known fact, actually drew the Saiyans and Saifurians in that scene. So, but you're right in that it was retcon later. So you guys cut the whole. That's DBZ episode 20. You cut all that out.
I mean, it wasn't in the manga.
Yeah. Even though Toriyama did draw those characters, you have to make decisions like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Now I'm gonna get to, of course. Yeah, I want to play the whole thing through, but I can't because of copyright. Because I really like this song.
Yeah,
I really like this song, bro. This is the best scene in the whole series, in my opinion.
And Kai doesn't.
Well, and Z. That would have been me if they cut Spirit versus Spirit out. That would have been me right there.
That's real.
Okay, let me go a little bit forward here. That might be Nozawa's best scream of the whole series, bro. You think about it. So this is the part. Okay, let me start it right here. The narrator steps in, which isn't it. You could have. Did you consider cutting the narrator out here? I'm actually curious about that.
Actually, we do end the episode here, so that's why we didn't cut him out. And then in the next episode of the recut, that's where you see
That's right. Because oh my god, you're right. Because I remember this clip. Yeah, if you didn't, then it would have been different. Okay.
If we didn't end the episode here, we would have removed him. Yes.
Next episode, that's right. And then now in the next episode, if you look on the right there, this is what I was talking about. Gohan continues his power up, and the reason for it, a lot of folks don't know this, but the reason for it is because when Dragon Ball and Z were being made, Toei was making multiple episodes at once, so you had different animators sort of adapting different things, and so you had and that's happened a few times. So, but with DBZ Recut, all that stuff is gone, and I like the transformation. I'm not saying I don't, but it gets right to the reactions from the cast, the Z fighters or whatever, to Gohan, with the smoke and everything, which is badass. And that's a good way to start the episode too. Like if the actual episode of Z started that way, I wouldn't have complained.
Definitely.
I gotta be careful because it's copyright, bro.
Oh yeah, it's again the music. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I like it. I want to play it straight through, and then dun dun.
Right. This one.
You've changed. Anyways, and they have 3 minutes and 5 seconds saved. That edit is a little it hurts a little bit, but it doesn't hurt that much, because it's nice, but it's So according to my notes here, Vegeta's injuries removed, Gohan's been, we talked about that. Super Saiyan 3 Goku, 2 Kamehamehas, Goku launched versus Buu. That toy did not adapt faithfully, but we did in ZR with careful editing. Not even Kai did this. Do you have that clip on the YouTube channel?
No, not yet, unfortunately, but we will have it soon. We don't have that clip. I can explain just a little bit. So Toei sort of adopted several manga panels from that specific spot in the manga in a really bizarre way, I would say, where it's not exactly that attack that Goku does in the manga. It's 50% of it or something like that. So we kind of stitched together those little parts and we made it a lot more closer to the manga. So the fight of Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Kid Buu is a lot closer to the manga in our version. Kai didn't bother to do any of that.
I'll never forget this. I'm a quick story. I actually want to ask you guys your reaction to this. So in 2015, Kai Buu Saga was airing in Japan, and some of us were watching it. Now, I'm watching the Buu Saga of Kai, not the final chapters version, the one that aired on Fuji TV. Right. And I remember me and Super Jaiyan was at that time a manga purist and a Kai fan. I will never forget when they showed the scene of Frieza, Babidi in hell, and Resurrection F had just come out. And if you are a hardcore fan of Dragon Ball, you know that Toriyama's hell and Toei's hell are not the same thing. We watched that, and I remember Jay went off on this rant where he was like, what the fuck are they thinking? There's no point in leaving that in there. And I didn't get as mad as he did, but I was like, why did they leave that in if Kai, because I see a lot of fans say, well, Super's canon to Kai, which that's false. That's not true. But but they could have made it to where Kai can go right into Super, but instead they left the fucking scene of them in it, which was not, it was a cool scene, but it was not necessary. So what did y'all think about that, and why the hell Kai did that?
I didn't like it. It's removed in our version.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my answer. Yeah.
No, you don't have it, and that's good.
Yes,
when I found out Kai did that, it seriously made me question the validity of Kai, and it may be the reason why I even thought about making this project in the first place.
Bro,
yeah.
I'm just like you. Like we had a very similar reaction, because I was like, then what the hell's the point of Kai? Like, if you're gonna leave that in, I understand Gregory, parts of the fight. You can't really cut everything out. We've all talked about that this whole stream, but there was I think 3 different times when they cut to hell. That was so unnecessary. Not in the manga. Toriyama never. Fun fact: Toriyama never showed hell until Resurrection F. We had never seen what it looked like. Whereas in the anime, Goku fell off a snake way, and he wrestled the ogres and all that good stuff.
Exactly.
So Yeet Sleep. This is one of your guys, right? This dude.
Yep.
Yes. He's
big shout out.
He's in our team. huge.
You were
Yeah,
saying.
he says. He says he clarifies that this edit that I just talked about is gonna come in the next patch, the one and only patch actually for version 2 that we're going to release as soon as possible.
Does Geekdom know about removing Satan's friends in the future?
Right.
Yeah.
This
Okay.
is something that we will attempt to do. We cannot do that yet because we don't have the color corrected footage in our hands. It's not out yet.
You're talking about Pizza and all those people?
Yes. This needs some heavy masking and editing, visual editing, kind of like Vegeta's injuries, but even harder. So we're going to attempt to do it. I cannot make any promises yet, but we're going to attempt to remove them entirely. That would be really cool if we managed to do that.
That would be crazy. Now, I have a question for you guys that popped in my head because somebody in the chat mentioned Bardock. So I'm going to preface this question with a little bit of education because some people don't know this. So in America, the Bardock and Trunks specials were released as features. So I oftentimes see people say, well, my favorite movie is the History of Trunks. It's not a movie. The History of Trunks and the Bardock special were 1 hour long TV special episodes that aired in the same time slot as Dragon Ball Z on Fuji TV. Now, when it comes to DBZ Recut, Bardock, not in the manga.
Yeah.
We don't have to. Now, when it came to Trunks, though, it is different than the manga. Was there a discussion of figuring out a way to put the Trunks footage into DBZ Recut? Like, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, because
I understand what you're talking about. And well, basically in our official watch guides, we basically say that we recommend watching this, especially the History of Trunks, but there's no need for us to put it in our edit because like even the Trunks, it was like a special chapter of the manga, not part of the chapter numbering.
That's why I'm asking. It's tricky because it is in the manga, you know.
But we do recommend watching it in our watch guides if that helps.
And I was thinking, and I'm not saying you have to do this. I'm just, my brain works this way. Maybe there's a way that you could, and this might require some editing. You could like show Trunks and then clip out that sound effect of a dream sequence, like a flashback, and maybe in one of the, again, you don't have to do this. This is just me thinking out loud. In one of the edits, you actually do show footage from History of Trunks in one of the DBZ Recut episodes, so that way you can squeeze it in there. I'm again. You don't have to.
Possible. I'm not quite sure. I cannot answer this right now unless I really dissect it and see it first. So I cannot really answer that. But it's the way you're describing it might be possible. I'm not sure.
Wasn't Bardock added in the manga after Toriyama saw the special? Yes. That's still in there because in the Dragon Ball Z anime, when Frieza sees Goku, he recognizes him looking like Bardock, and then you have that clip where it goes from Goku to Bardock. That's still in there. Obviously, one of the things you guys did cut out, which you had to cut it out. I still love the scene though, and maybe you do too, is when Frieza kills King Vegeta. Like I really like that, but it's not in the manga.
That. It's not. Yeah. It had to go, unfortunately.
I do like how years ago there was a Bardock special edit that had put that in the Bardock special. It's a one big like that, like that. Yeah, I can send it to you if I can find it. And so they put it in there. Yeah, so it's like that day, like the last day of Planet Vegeta. So, yes, Nicholas Henry's correct. So before we wrap it up, all right, I want to let everybody know we're almost done here. Dragon Ball Z Recut, Team Kienzan. You have the you can go to the YouTube channel here. Let me go. Okay, Dragon Ball Z Recut, Team Kienzan. You can watch any of these clips so you can kind of get an idea of how things were done, and a lot of these clips are a lot of fan favorite stuff. So check it out. And but if you want to actually watch this or at least get into the Discord, discord.gg, it's right here, but also it's in the description. If you have a Discord account, if you don't, I I don't feel comfortable telling you where to get it, so just get on the damn Discord because it's there. And it looked. I really don't give a shit. Fuck Toei, but they fuck Toei and fuck the fact that Kai should have done this. But but
we wish.
I'm just saying, bro. Hold on a minute. When are you streaming the Android Saga? Yeah, 1 week ago today, buddy. You're late. So get into that Twitch. Watch the first 3 episodes because today at 1 p.m., an hour and a half from now, 1 p.m. today, I'll be on Twitch. We're continuing the Android Saga, Artificial Humans, today at 1. You have no reason not to be there. If you're at work, call out of work. And if you're in jail, break out. So you have no reason. All right. So anyways, go to the Discord server. There's going to be multiple options. You can download the high quality footage if you don't have enough space or you want to just like sample it. It's in their Discord. I'm going to give you guys the floor to say whatever the hell you want before we get out of here.
We wanted to read out 2 messages from 2 team members. Pretty much. That's.
I want to say I mentioned this earlier. High Six. How do you say his name?
Hydros.
Actually,
that's
supposed
to be
Hydros.
yeah.
Bro, I'm over here. It's a D. I was gonna say Hydrus. I said High Sixerus, bro. I'm an idiot. I mentioned that earlier with the Boo Saga. It's 44 episodes. The Kai versions are in the 60s. So yeah, I think how long is the entire project? Is it 110 episodes? Something like that.
128 episodes.
There you go. So it's shorter than OG Dragon Ball's original run.
Yeah. Original run is 153 for OG Dragon Ball and 291 for Z.
If you're on a date with Peyton List, give me her number and get your ass in the stream. Okay, anyways, brother, go ahead. Highlight whatever you were going to highlight. I just want to clown with that guy.
Yeah, the 2 messages basically you want to read.
Okay, do you want me to highlight them? Like, are they in the chat?
So am I going to read them?
Yeah, he's going to read.
I can read them. I can start with Suren's message. So
wait, is it in the chat or is it?
Oh private? No. They have sent them to us so we can read them out loud. That's
okay. Okay. Real quick, I want to answer this. If you get a tier 2, okay, this is for my Discord server. If you want to join my Discord, you have to be a member at tier 2. If you are having issues with keeping the subscription, reach out to me. We'll talk about it. So just talk to me about it and we'll figure something out. Go ahead, brother.
Right. So from Suren, hi, current lead of dub syncing and Spanish work plus team artist, Suren Rose here. Thank you for the support on the project. We didn't expect to get such a big reaction so quickly. We'll continue to work hard for all of you, and I can't wait for you to see the English and Spanish dubs once they are added to the recut. Plus, a big surprise I'm working on with some of the team. Look forward to it.
Beautiful. I wanted to say... I want to give a shout out to Darth Medios. He was the one that showed me Dragon Ball Z recut because I had heard about it, but like in my head, it was like, yeah, I'll get to it. But he actually showed me some clips of it. And then I was like, I should probably promote this because I want people to watch Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. My whole thing as my purpose on this planet is to take people who are casual fans of Dragon Ball, whether it be the dub, whatever, and make them into more hardcore fans. But I also know that a lot of Dragon Ball fans who saw it on Toonami are older. They have kids now. They have jobs. So Dragon Ball Z recut, if you want the story of Dragon Ball and Z faster to where you don't have to, it doesn't take 5 years to watch the whole thing. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z recut is the best option, better than Kai because it's even less episodes.
Yes.
So,
and then second message now?
Go ahead.
Yes, from Tsukushi. Heyo everyone, Tsukushi LD here. Thanks to Geekdom for having us and thanks to everyone listening. Apart from doing proper German subtitles, which is the first by the way, I am probably more interested to most, also a part of the Right. Which is probably more interesting to most. I'm also a part of the art team, meaning I'll be taking care of visual fixes and edits from here on out. Right now, I'm going through all our episodes super thoroughly, noting down errors like miscolorings, inconsistencies, and all other weird stuff that's sneaked in like tape marks. How exactly we're gonna handle all of this and how far we're gonna go is still being figured out, especially considering the sheer scope of existing errors. But we're definitely aiming to polish things up even more for the future. So stay tuned. Who knows? Some things might get a little more raw than before too.
Mhm.
See, what's funny about this, we mentioned the special editions earlier, and there's a famous quote from George Lucas who said, movies are never really finished, which I disagree with him. I feel like a lot of these projects are like that. Like you could, I mean, I'm not saying you're going to do this, but you could reasonably update Dragon Ball Z Recut forever, especially, and this is the scary part, as AI gets smarter, there could be a way to where you could really do something with DBZ Recut that's like unprecedented. But this is a fan project, bro, and because of that, people have to be patient. A lot of the people working on this have full-time jobs, and when they come home, they just don't want to edit sometimes. Sometimes you want to, crash out or whatever. Like not crash out, crash. So you have to be cognizant of that. I mean, hell, we've been waiting a long time for Seed of Might. So so, and those of you who are wondering if there's going to be a super recut, no, I'm not going to say anything because I'm going to get accused of leaking, and I'm not going to do it. So that is not in the plans for Team Kienzan, right? It's just the Z stuff.
No, for now it's just Z, focused on Z.
Yeah, not even like a GT thing because that's not in the manga. So yes, check out Team Kienzan. Any final thoughts y'all have?
Well, we want to thank you for having us here. First of all, we want to thank the chat for being here.
Thank you for being here.
And that was a blast. And
no, I had a good time. And look, if there's a major update coming down the road, I would love to talk to y'all again. Maybe
there will be with the color corrected footage. Yes, that's our goal for now. The next one will be.
Now, okay, I have a question for you about that.
Yeah.
Does that mean you have to do it all over again?
Oh, right. No. No, that's a question we get a lot. We actually don't have to do that because we have kept our project files. And what that means is that when Seed of Might releases their color-corrected version, we have verified with them that the actual episode lengths, the file lengths themselves, will be exactly the same as the current version, which means that we will simply replace the video tracks and the edits will be applied automatically within the project file.
Oh, thank God.
We don't have, we don't have to do it all over again. No.
You're doing the batch file thing. So, all right. He says, y'all should do the DBZ movies. Don't say anything. Just.
Okay.
Lord in heaven, please bless this child with discernment and better hearing and to rewind the stream. In Jesus' name we pray, because come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on now. How would super recut works when the anime and manga are different? Well, that's why Team Kienzan's not going to do it, bro. Like the Z super manga and super anime are very different, but and plus the manga is not Toriyama. So we have one more super chat here. Dead Dark says, I missed the stream. It's okay, bro. You can rewind it. The stream will be up. And like I mentioned, in about 2 hours, actually about an hour, this ain't the 4K remake. Brother, rewind the stream, dude. Just rewind the stream. Just start over again. Start over, bro. What 4K? I wish there was a 4K. Like, I wish, bro. I will say this, too. This is not really... I want to say this. Toei or Crunchyroll has, like, an HD Dragon Ball now. It's got a lot of problems. You know about that? You heard about that?
Yeah. I saw it. It does have a lot of problems.
they're just not preserving their materials correctly or doing anything wise with them officially.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, that tripped me out because like, and I've been saying this on the Saturday streams, like I've been wanting Toei to take the 16 millimeter film and do a legitimate like 4K or 1080p of OG Dragon Ball Z, GT, and all that stuff. The movies. Well, they did the movies already, but it's still one of those things where it's like, well, shit, like, you know. Okay, he says a final thing. Does Geekdom know about this? What I'm trying to say is Toei sucks. Does Geekdom know about the Neo Raws HD upscale and how that relates to DBZ recut? I don't. I might. What are they talking about?
Okay, Jarttis, can you explain this, or should I?
Sure, I can try. So Neo Ross is a group, or maybe it's just one person, but they do a really thorough like AI model, which like does a really good HD upscale, and it seems that we're going to be doing an optional HD version of the project using that one.
But I want to highlight the
That's
main
exciting.
version the main version will always be in the original resolution. We're not going to touch up the main
Yes.
version.
Yeah, so 480p is what you're saying.
Yes, with the color corrected footage. Yes,
With the color corrected. Yeah, and I want to also let everybody know that when you watch this, it's gonna look nice, but I would recommend getting MPVNet. There is a what if. There is a tutorial file on that, because if you watch the footage from Seed of Might in that, and I know you guys know this, I'm telling the people, because people are going to come in here and not have a clue what we're talking about, so I gotta explain it to them. If you want it to look as close to HD as possible, you can do that. I do have the AI upscales of Dragon Ball Z. And OG Dragon Ball. I've been streaming them on Twitch because while AI upscales aren't perfect, Toei sucks, okay? I'd rather have like an imperfect fan thing, and Toei's never going to do it. And I wish they did. So I don't think all AI upscales are bad, and it's going to get better. I am looking forward to the color correction AI upscale of not just DBZ Recut, but just Dragon Ball as a whole.
Yeah,
I'm sure it'll look nice, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. So yeah, this shirt is available in the Geekdom store. So is this hat. We're gonna go ahead and check out of here. Thank you, Spyros. Thank you. Well, to both. Oh, hold on, this stupid. Blah. Jarvis. I called you Jarvis, like the Iron Man. Jartis. Thank you so much for being here, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, we're out of here. Have a good one. Take care. I'll see you guys in about an hour on Twitch. If you're not, I told you, if you're at work, call out of work. And if you're in jail, break out.
All right.
Have a good one. Thank you.